So Robin, Alex, welcome to this AMA.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. So let's start, Robin, actually with you, and then we'll switch to you, Alex. So Robin, obviously you experienced the Binance campus event from quite a different side. You attended it as a KOL invited by Binance. So it would be amazing if you could share your firsthand experience from the event. What were the key moments for you, and how did the event contribute to the growing Web3 community?
Well, this is Robin. I am grateful to be here today with these two amazing persons. I really want to thank Kind Ma'am for allowing me to share my experience on Binance Square. Yeah, I recently had an incredible opportunity to attend the Binance Minasa campus in Sri Lanka, which was possible because of my community support, Well, let me start by saying that the energy there was absolutely amazing. I met many passionate and inspiring crypto developers from regions like Middle East, North Africa, and South Asia also. The atmosphere was electric, and I saw how passionate everyone was about learning, sharing ideas, and building connections with the Web3 community. Uh, One of my key moments for me personally was the session led by industrial leaders from Ton, Binance, and Gala. As a result, they were able to break down complex Web3 concepts into simple, understandable ideas, making everything accessible for people who were unfamiliar with cryptography. Well, I walked away from their talks feeling more confident and knowledgeable about how Web3 is shaping our future and providing uh, incredible opportunities for innovation. But it was just about not about it wasn't just about the presentation actually. The personally interconnection, conversation, and friendships I formed during the event were equally impactful. Also, chatting face to face, sharing our stories, exchanging advice, and discussing our challenges truly inspired me, actually. It reminded me how important community and collaboration are in our crypto journey. Events like Binance Minasa Campus connect us, build our collective knowledge, and build our strong, vibrant Web3 community. After this experience, I'm even more enthusiastic about what I hate for blockchain and crypto industry. This The Binance team actually deserve huge thank for this hosting amazing gathering and providing a space for us to connect and grow. Let's continue supporting each other, learning and building exciting future and Web3 together. Yeah, that was my experience actually. That was great.
Thank you so much, Robin. And thank you so much for sharing your experience, and really appreciate you being able to attend the event and, of course, sharing your experience with us today. And now on to you, Alex. Obviously, your experience at the event would be quite different, since Dogs was one of the sponsors of Binance KOL Campus. So can you share your experience with the event, and what motivated the team to be part of this event, and what impact did you see from the sponsorship?
Sure, happy to. So, very basically, the KOL campus is a place where you can come as a project, if you are sponsoring it, of course, and you can meet all those people face to face. And I think building trust in Web3 in general, is inevitably, one of the most important things that a project like ours want to do, building trust through KOLs, is something that quite a few projects are either considering or are trying to do. But in order to these KOLs to even want to mention your project, they want to trust you, to make sure that whether the market's bullish or bearish, you're there for the long term. You need to kind of show them their vision so they can explain that vision to their viewers, to their subscribers. And I think if they're doing it just because they're paid, that's not always genuine. However, when you make these longer term commitments, longer term partnerships, when you meet people face to face and show them your vision, show them that you're there for the long term, you're very transparent, you are what you're doing after all, then they can sincerely talk about your project, bring it up, because they become rather than simply someone who's promoting the project for money, there would be someone who actually believes in your vision and they get behind it. So for us, I think it was quite an eye-opening experience, actually, because while maybe not every single one of them have heard about our project, hopefully now we managed to show where we're going, what we're doing, show our faces after all, and hopefully take a step further into building that trust with the wider audiences there. And I think events like that are sometimes even more efficient than more formal conferences, because at the more formal conference, your discussion may not always be quite as meaningful, or may not always be quite as fruitful. Whereas here, you spend like 3 days with these top KOLs, with these people who have so many followers who trust them, that in that situation you really manage to spread your vision wider. I think that was great.
For sure. And of course, so this event had a specific geographic focus, which was Manasa. Is that one of the areas of specific interest for dogs?
I think we see dogs as a global phenomenon, and the fact that we have more outreach in certain regions and less in others only means that we should be doing more in the others. That's the only thing. However, if we look at the holders of the Dogs token geographically, if we look at statistics from the early TG mini app that we had, actually everything points out to the fact that this region has always been and will always be a very important one for us, and we will keep on doing far more there than we ever have.
Fantastic. Well, both myself and Robin, we have quite a few questions about dogs. So let me, before we proceed with the main part of today's Q&A, or AMA first, before we move on to the Q&A, let me just say a quick disclaimer to our listeners. So the content discussed today includes third-party comments and opinions and does not necessarily reflect the views of Binance. For more details, refer to our official disclaimer on Binance Square. And now, moving on to the next part of today's AMA, I am preparing to pass on the mic to Robin. I know that Robin has a few questions prepared for Alex about dogs. So, Robin, the floor is yours. Please go ahead and ask the questions that you have, and I'm sure Alex would be happy to answer them.
Thanks again for the opportunity. And I personally met with him in the event, but I have few questions to ask him. So please, sir, my first question is that what inspired the creation of Dogecoin and what problem does it aim to solve in the crypto space?
That's a good question. So very basically, our story actually begins way before the token itself. It begins with a drawing that the founder of Telegram, Pavel Durov, has drawn himself, apparently, for an auction, and that auction was raising funds for orphanages. Now, over time, that image became a very widely spread kind of meme on various platforms, including obviously Telegram, and became very, very popular there. Now, us as creators of the token, we take pride in that history. We inherited everything it stood for, both in terms of the very obvious charity element, but also in terms of the freedom of speech element as well, which it became a token of as well. Now, in terms of the problems, I think there are quite a few that we could point out, and I wouldn't think of them just problems that we solve, but more kind of things that we do. Now, one of those things is transparency. I think being transparent in Web3, being honest, being trustworthy, is something that has been lacking in many projects, and we have always been, I hope, the opposite. We've never overpromised. We've never said things that we're not going to do. We will keep on doing that. Now, in terms of very particular kind of use cases, I guess, I think one of the most important ones would be the charity element. And I think that differentiates us quite a bit from many other projects, because even from the beginning, even before we listed our token, we already were looking up for ways to, use crypto for good. And we raised funds for different charities, including orphanages, but as we're a dogs talking, obviously, to animal welfare as well.
Well, that's a good answer. And I have other questions. So that was, can we explain the primary use case of dogs token and how do you plan to ensure real-world adoption and value creation for holders?
Yeah, sure. So there are a few use cases here. So first and foremost, dogs kind of the dogs app that you've all, or many of you have seen before the launch of the token. It's obviously only just the beginning. We're there for the long term. We're building a much larger ecosystem that will incorporate obviously the dogs token as the main thing there. When I talk about the ecosystem, it's obviously games, because Telegram has now become a place where you can launch crazy games, and that is the space that we're opening, not just for ourselves, where we will build our own games. We also will support independent creators who could launch games on our platform as well, and get rewarded, and with the dogs token, and use it for purchases inside the games as well. Now, one of those elements of that vision has actually been already implemented together with another project, and what we did is called a TG sticker store, the NFT sticker store. I think we'll mention more on that later, but obviously from the beginning, Dogs was one of the tokens that was accepted as a payment method there, and it will always be that way. But for all of the next games and experiences we built, Dogs will be the core token there at any of the apps.
That's a good reason. And another question I have: are there any mechanism in place to ensure the stability, growth of token value, such as burning, staking, like that?
Mm-hmm. 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 So the answer is twofold. So first and foremost, even before once we launched the token after the TG, we there was quite a lot of tokens that were unclaimed, and we put a vote for the community and ask them, hey guys, what do we do with these tokens? Do we take them for marketing? Do we donate them to something, or do we just burn them? And the community voted, and quite a significant proportion was, the community voted to donate them to charity, and the rest to burn. So actually quite a lot of tokens have been burned, but with the any of the transactions in the future, and we will have a lot of the transactions because we're launching our own merchandise store. We will the token will be, there will be in-app purchases with dogs tokens within the games. With every transaction, yes, there will be an element of burning included into that. As for staking, yes, we're also seriously considering that. We will be launching a staking campaign, of like an earn campaign within Telegram, actually, with wallets later on. But we have already launched campaigns with earn on Open Builders project, and we will carry on collaborating with others to, absolutely, to create more value for the holders. 100%.
That's a good approach, actually. And I have another final question. What are the key milestones or developments we can expect from the Dogs project in the next 6 to 12 months? And how do you plan to achieve them?
I think one of the biggest ones, apart from the games that I've mentioned already, and they will be launching, hopefully, not you won't have to wait for them too long. But apart from that, and it is going to be massive. I think one of the biggest things is definitely the push to Web2, and that is in forms of just activations, just teaching people about what it is, onboarding more into the ecosystem, but also spreading the word, with integrations with Web2 brands, real life brands, because we're already stepping into the offline world with our monthly events for holders and community, and we will carry on doing probably like at least 2 per month. Currently we're doing 1 per month. We've done Istanbul, we're doing Seoul this month. We'll be in Dubai, obviously, for token, and we'll at least have at least 1 event per month, sometimes 2. But I think one of the important points that we will be doing, and I think one of the brands that actually is doing that very well, is Pudgy Penguins, and they are good friends of ours now. Is that this kind of offline element of the brand, I think, is very important for us. So we will do as much as possible in the real world, including merchandise and partnerships.
That's good. And thank you so much, sir. Thanks for the answers. And now I want to pass the mic to Kain ma'am, so she can continue.
Thank you so much, Robin. Thank you for the questions. And Alex, I have a few questions of my own for you. So I'm just going to pick this up right where we left off. So one of the questions that I have is, and like you already kind of mentioned it, right? That the meme coin space is so vibrant. So what does Dog do to make sure that you are differentiating yourself from other meme coins in the crypto space?
I think one of our principles in everything that we do is be very transparent, be very honest, and kind of use crypto for good. And when we say use crypto for good, we mean doing good things within the project, and can be sometimes large initiatives, because we've worked with some of the largest charities in the world, and one of them we partnered with, actually officially. We are official partners with one of the largest American charities called Best Friends, where we sponsor all the adoptions for dogs, cats, and other animals for this month. actually. But we also collaborated, well, we helped them with LA fires and with other initiatives that they had locally. But it doesn't mean that we are only doing, global things. We also do, our community does smaller things as well with our support. For example, just recently, we had a group of dogs enthusiasts who, with our supports, went to a very small village, to their local village in Nigeria. And they helped an orphanage there. And, these kind of local initiatives, I think, is what kind of sets us apart in a way, because we community is not only about having fun together, which obviously it is, and we have loads of these kind of crazy guys who are jumping out of airplanes with dogs flag, or drawing graffitis, and it's all very artsy and all very fun. But I think local communities can be built in various ways, and I think what really unites them is doing something good together, and we're kind of pretty much behind that.
That is lovely. And how do you decide, or how does the community decide towards, which initiatives they would be, sponsoring or kind of allocating the funds, or is that something that, that is not voted upon at all? Like, what is the process for that? Like, can you describe it for us?
Yeah, so first and foremost, the amount that we donated was decided completely by the community. We had no say in that ourselves. The amount that, the total charity fund was decided that way. Now, in terms of evaluation, first and foremost, we have a charity website, charity.dogs.dev, where any registered charity can come and ask us for support. There, it's evaluated, whether it's a genuine charity or not, whether they are actually gonna go and help someone. In all honesty, I think sometimes people tag us on Twitter saying there is this is happening, they need support, and we evaluate actually every single tag like that, where sometimes we just need to step in. That being said, the new app that will be launched soon, together with the games ecosystem, will have a voting mechanism there for extra transparency, where our app users could nominate a charity, and others could vote on which initiative we should support with how much. So that will be even more open.
That is wonderful, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the app. So that kind of leads me to the next question, which is about kind of the future of the project. Can you expand on what are the upcoming partnerships or integrations that the community should be excited about? And perhaps you can also share and talk about some of the big partnerships that you already announced, for instance, the partnership with Travala.
Yeah, Travala, one of my favorite ones as well.
Please share.
No, I think it was it was very exciting to see the integration, to be the first token on Ton to be integrated into Travala. And I think if anything, these platforms, these kind of companies, they are really needed in Web3, both for the customers and also for projects. For project, they do create real utility for your token. And for those of you who don't know what Travala is, it's basically now you can purchase airplane tickets or book hotels with dogs tokens, and I think these are the type of project that we will be collaborating with more and more these days. Just this month, we integrated with Binance Pay, actually, which also provides basically a lot of utility for the token, both offline and online. We integrated with another website that allows you to purchase gift vouchers with Dogs token, meaning you can buy, vouchers for anything from Apple to Amazon to Uber, and you can either, give them as a gift or obviously use it yourself as well. So even if some of the websites don't accept crypto, that is a very nice workaround there, and there all can be more than like 300 shops at once. They do now accept Dogs token. I think in terms of the future big partnerships, as I said, the big focus for us is on Web 2. And there are quite a few big names that we're working with together for NDA purposes. I can't say which ones yet, but they're all the if we look at some of the most exciting brands in the Web 3, quite a few of them tried this approach of going to mainstream, to the people's homes, to the people's kind of lives, to be part of their daily journey. And I think we kind of share that vision. We want to be everywhere. We want, in a non-intrusive way, don't get me wrong, but I think with the IP that we have, with the strong brand that we have, hopefully are building and have built, with the quite the unique story, hopefully, we know that the Web 2 side of things is definitely something we're very excited about, and we'll keep on building on that side.
Well, we're certainly excited to hear the upcoming announcements. And just as a note to our listeners, you can follow Dog's account in Binance Square to stay updated on all of their latest news, which I assume we will be seeing quite a lot of them this year. So on to my next question for you, Alex. We already mentioned the Telegram sticker store. Obviously, the launch has generated some buzz. So can we talk about it a little bit more? So can you share what the community can expect from this initiative, and what is the involvement of dogs in the sticker store, and how does it contribute to the growth of dogs?
Of course. So first and foremost, I think the whole idea originally was yet again by Pavel Durov himself, actually, who once said, and I think it was at talk in Dubai, actually, he said that, look, I think the stickers on Telegram should be minted. They should become tokenized. They should be NFTs. Now, I think there are quite a few reasons for that, and quite good reasons for that. And one of the things is that it makes owning the NFT and proving that you own an NFT such a seamless process. So first, for those who are actually NFT enthusiasts, showing it off. And if we're honest, an NFT has always been some sort of a flex for many people. Showing that you actually own that NFT, you actually own that, it is very easy and very seamless. Now, the second bit here is that through this particular form of NFT, I think it's one of the easiest to onboard people onto and to get them behind it, because that's something they can understand. It's much easier to show them the value of that if they can actually share it in their chats. And Telegram has more than 900 million users, and most of them use stickers daily, especially the Web 2 guys, of which there are lots. Now, I think it would be honest to say that it's not only Dog's project. It's a project that we developed in collaboration with the Open Builders together. But we do share that vision, obviously, and I think for many of the IP owners. So very, very, very basically, for those of you who missed the bit about the the NFT TG store, what it is it's a marketplace where you can purchase stickers that were onboarded by an IP owner, say by Dogs as an IP owner, or by today I think there was another launch that was sold out in an hour. There was the launch by, for example, Pudgy Penguins or Bored Apes and many others, and there will be others. So the IP owner comes into the marketplace, launches their collection, and then, hopefully their audience loves the stickers, gets behind it, starts using it inside their chats and whatnot. And yeah, eventually these stickers will get tokenized as well and become NFTs, become tradable NFTs. And in terms of the Dogs growth, so first and foremost, Dogs are accepted as a payment method there. And I think that's quite important because the way we built it, it allows people who have not touched crypto ever to purchase it with something that they're familiar with, as in Telegram stars. But for those who are familiar with crypto or do have, are holders of these tokens, it's actually much cheaper to purchase it with crypto. And those who do, I think, are very happy about that. I think the important bit there is that the NFTs on Ton in general are one of the fastest growing of all. And if you look at the graphs, Ton is becoming big because Ton has recently launched gifts as well that are also NFTs, and they're also on Telegram. And because of that, we believe that, Ton NFTs will completely redefine the NFT scene in the next year or so. So we're very happy to be part of that revolution, to be honest. It's a very exciting place to be in.
It is certainly an interesting and refreshing take on NFTs, and I would be really interested to see how it's going to progress. So very excited to, for further updates. So I only have one last question before I'm going to be opening up the floor to our community. So, and this is a note for the community. If you have any questions for Dogs, please drop your questions in the chat section, and I'm going to try and catch them all and ask them. And I'm already seeing some of the questions here. All right. Did you say something, Alex? I think my connection again lagged for a second.
No, you said catch them all, and I said just like Pokemon. That's all I said. Sorry.
Yeah, oh, very, very correct. Yes. Should we expect Dogs Pokemon?
Not yet.
Not well, but
maybe it should be
Web2 collaboration that you are.
That's the IP question I would want to come back to, because now negotiating with IP owners is much harder than you would ever anticipate. It's a complex process, even if they are interested in launching their own collection. It's a complex process, honestly.
I can well imagine it. It is an interesting question. So I'm well aware that we have quite a lot of questions, so let me just ask one last question of my own, which is about the community, which of course plays a very important role within the Dogs ecosystem. So how do you engage the Dogs community, and how does the community that is joining us today, and we're currently at 11,000 listeners, how can they engage with Dogs?
That's a great question. So first and foremost, we somehow very organically already have a massive community that they do stuff sort of on their own. And what I mean is sometimes we receive these kind of questions like, hey, creating an art piece. Can you send me your logo in high res? I want to create an art piece. Or, look, I'm gonna be like, my team is preparing, like, jumping from an airplane, like they're skydivers. Can you send us your logo so we could jump with your, like, flag or something? I think it's incredible how people come together and do stuff like that. But in all honesty, obviously, we do organize community meetups ourselves, as I mentioned, every month now, and pretty much any holder or active community member can join in their place. So we do them around the world, so everyone can participate. But for those who can't join the offline, sorry, part of that, we also host events, and one of my favorite ones was the treasure hunt, actually, where about, I think, 300,000 people participated. So it was something really silly if you think about it. It was a series of puzzles that we scattered around, the internet, and we posted online, and people, basically every answer to a puzzle was a keyword, and that keyword, when you get all 24 of them, you can open a wallet with a price, obviously. And the way community united, because some of these puzzles were absolutely impossible to do yourself or find them in the real world as well, because some of them were on posters in cities across the world. People united, and they created their own sub communities, their own channels, where they were solving these puzzles online live, sometimes for hours, what those streams were. And the winning, what I think, what was most refreshing thing for me, is that the winning team decided to, like, there was basically the first person to get all 24, they can open the wallet and transfer the money elsewhere. But in the true community spirit, they split the winnings. And the other thing is, and I think it's great for the community building there as well, is that the people who launched all those new channels, all those new communities, these channels actually still exist. They post about other things. They meet in real life, these guys, and we feel like, hey, we contributed to that, and that's cool. So that's why we're gonna launch more treasure hunts for sure, and other activities like that offline as well. But in the online world, all of our in the offline, sorry, world, all of our events also have sort of elements of our games and upcoming updates as well. So you can, meet us in person at some of them, or most of them. I think I myself trying to visit as many as possible of these. So yeah, do come say hi. Would love to meet.
Well, that sounds absolutely lovely. And who doesn't like a good treasure hunt? I know I would. I would definitely participate just for the sake of a treasure hunt.
Go for it.
And yeah, looking forward actually to the Dubai event, being Dubai based and all.
There we go.
So I'm seeing quite a lot of questions from the community. So let me read out some of them for you. For the sake of time, I'm not going to be unmuting the speakers today. So I'm just going to read out the question and the name of the person who asked it. So the first question that I'm seeing is from A Pie Boy. I'm just trying to figure out what's the right way to read that out. And the question is, how does your project adapt to major industry trends like L2 scalping, DeFi innovations, or AI integration?
It's a good project. So it's a good question. Sorry. So one of the things is, we don't want to follow today's hype. And the reason for that is, if you look what's trending on crypto Twitter, every month it's a different thing, right? So I think one of the most important things is, yes, you need to be adaptable. You need to experiment a lot. However, you also need to have some sort of longer term vision that is yes, you adapt that. You navigate as the landscape changes. However, that you don't lose yourself while chasing the hype. What's trending today, if you will. We have experimented with AI as one example, and I think it's a great tool if you know how to use it properly, and if you actually do something good with it. However, if you look at some of the overhyped AI projects, some of them didn't rise up to the challenge. They didn't sustain that longer term growth. But yes, we are. I think if you don't experiment in crypto, you're gonna die very soon. So it's a very dynamic industry where adapt or die, really. So yeah, we are obviously following everything. We are in the know. Some of the things we have experimented before with. Some results were promising, but I think sticking to the longer term vision is what got us here, and what will only take us much further.
Thank you. So the next question, I think we covered it partially, but I think it's worth repeating and kind of perhaps getting another take on it. So the question is by Abao14. Does the dog airdrop team have a long-term roadmap? And are there any staking or earning opportunities with dog tokens?
Yeah. So just one quick thing. Dogs token. We're talking about dogs token, correct? Because dog is a different thing. Now,
Dogs.
no worries. So now back to the question. So yes, first and foremost, we do have roadmaps, and I think for the sake of transparency, we actually posted ours. I think early January for Q1 and Q2 of things that we want to achieve at the very least. And these things mentioned indeed the games, the docs passes and SPT for our community members, all the integrations. Some of them we didn't even mention there, but it was planned. And yes, obviously we do have in a young project like ours. Yes, we have a vision of where we want to be in 5 years' time. However, as I said before, the industry obviously is very fluid. It changes almost every day. Now, you need to have this vision to understand where you're going, but you can't stick to it 100% without adjusting it as the industry changes. Now, in terms of the earning opportunities, it's great that people are bringing that up. I think it's an important thing, but yes, we're launching these campaigns quite frequently, actually. It depends on the platform. The next one will be with, as I said, with Wallet on Telegram. And but we're not limiting ourselves to just one. Sorry, and what was the second part of what was the second part of the question?
The second part of the question was about staking. And let me find it again. Staking and earning opportunities with dog stake.
So I think that pretty much covers it. Yes, these campaigns they are normally time sensitive in a way that they are they're a week or two, a month. We evaluate the results, then we launch another one. But yes, do just follow us on all social media. We announced that, I think, on Binance Square, actually, everything from our X account goes directly to it. So if you follow it closely, you won't miss it, for sure.
Yes, definitely. And so I caught one last question. So actually two. So the first question is, what are the benefits for long-term holders of dogs? And the question is by Rancid Chow.
I think one of the most important things, if you are a holder, what is the value of any token that is a meme at the core? The most important thing is for us being part of the community, being part of this revolution. that doesn't mean that coins that are, we don't like the word meme coins, but it doesn't mean that they can't have utility or shouldn't have utility. So to us, it's quite obvious that to differentiate yourself, you do need quite unique utilities, and that's why we are building that ecosystem in the first place. And the token is just the beginning. So accessing that ecosystem and those communities will not be possible if you're not a holder. And when I say holder, I normally mean longer term holder. So we will be we are focusing already, and we will be focusing even more on people who are there with us for the long term and not just for a week or two.
Thank you. And I think in the interest of time, we can just take one more question. And I'm seeing a lot more questions in the comments, but I feel like we actually covered most of them already. Some of them are asking about kind of the long-term vision, and we talked about it several times already, for instance. But one question we also covered, but I think it's a nice way to wrap it all up, and it asks specifically, about the name Dogs. How did you come up with the name, which might be an obvious thing, but please, if you could answer it again, that would be amazing. And that was a question by Bratis.
Yeah, I think so. First and foremost, it's a good one. And first and foremost, there are so many meme coins that have this elements of this dog or that dog, but I think in a way we are uniting quite a few different narratives under the same brand. So it only made sense to to be the dogs. And there's also I think for us the charity element that I mentioned. If you name yourself under just one dog, it doesn't give you the same message as if you focus actually on animal welfare quite seriously, and for dogs everywhere, for for the support that we have been and will be providing to animal shelters across the globe, whether to help them adopt them, whether to help them to feed them. So we think we want to spread that kind of message, that reassurance. So that's for kind of dogs everywhere, if that makes sense.
It does, and it's a lovely message that I can as well relate to very much, being active in animal rescue in my region, so I can definitely respect that. I think we are pretty much at the end of today's AMA. Are there any last thoughts that you would like to share, perhaps, Alex?
I think one of the most important things for us to share here is that when we launched, we onboarded about 50 million people onto Web3. And I think for many of them, going through cycles, looking at the charts and stuff, can be quite a task, quite a difficult approach. But we have been always very transparent that we're here for the long term. So those people who actually stayed, and if we look at the on-chain metrics, the 5 million holders on chain has only grown, and we want to make sure that these people are with us for the next years to come, and that the cycles come and go. The market is volatile, and it has been, and probably will always be. but we're not sleeping anywhere. We're here to build, and we're here to provide more value, and hopefully, good times for the community.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And piggybacking on the community part, please make sure you follow Dog's account on Binance Square. Just navigate to the dog's profile picture, or like to the dog's profile where Alex is actually joining from right now, and click the follow button. And many thanks to Robin for joining us today and for hosting part of the AMA. Thank you, Robin. It was really great to have you with us. And of course, thank you, Alex.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
It's a pleasure.
Well, likewise. Then that's a wrap. Thank you to all of our listeners for joining us today. And have a lovely evening, everyone.